Hey guys, I hope you all had an awesome weekend. Tonight I'm just planning on going to dinner with a couple of friends, so I decided I would go ahead and show you guys how I get ready for the evening. Let's get started. As always, the first thing I like to do is go in and prime my face. So I'm going in with my usual primer as well as an illuminating one, just so I can really get that glow from within look. So I just like to use my fingers and apply this all over my face. After primer, the next step I pretty much always do is my eyebrows. I always just like having my eyebrows done. That way I can kind of clean around the edges afterwards without having to worry about removing any of my previous work or any of my foundation. So here I'm just taking a spoolie from BH Cosmetics and combing my brows up and out. And then to kind of create the outer perimeter of my brows, I like to go in with this waterproof brow pencil from Sephora. I wear mine in Nutmeg Brown. Before this, I used to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I'd picked this up on a whim just because it was cheaper and I ended up loving it. Now to actually fill in my brow, I'm going to go in with this kit that I got from Whitening Lightning. It's the Brow Bar to Go. It comes in two separate shades. I do use the lighter one. It has 2 powders and a wax. I've been loving this stuff. So I just kind of go in and swirl the 2 colors together and just fill in my brows using the brush that comes in with it. It's super affordable and probably one of my favorite brow powders that I've ever used. So I will have a coupon code down below for you guys if you're interested. Right here, all I'm doing is going in and dabbing my finger into the wax and kind of just pressing it right onto my brow hairs to lock them into place. Now moving on to my actual eye makeup, I'm going in with MAC's Soft Brown. I just like to use this because it's matte and it's a really nice warm shade. Since I don't have a defined crease, I really like buffing this color back and forth just to kind of create depth right there into my eyes. The brush that I'm using now is a Sigma E35, and from here on out, all of the brush names will be listed. After my crease, I'm moving on to my brow bone shade. For that, I'm using Brulee from MAC, which is just a really nice, rich, matte cream. The brush that I'm using here is the Sigma E50. If you guys are ever curious about the Sigma brushes, I will have a link down below as well as a 10% off coupon code. Using the same color that I applied into my crease, I'm going to apply this color all over my lid. The entire eye look, as you guys will see, is pretty much all matte except for the color that I'm going to use on my inner corners. So other than that, all 3 or 4 shades I'm using now are all matte shades. Now going into MAC Swiss Chocolate, which is hands down one of my favorite eyeshadows from them. I'm going to buff this into my crease back and forth, starting from the outer corner and dragging it inwards. If you guys were curious, this is pretty much the identical look that I wore in my previous haul video that I was getting a ton of questions on. So many of you guys had asked, so I figured why not just do my makeup the same way and just recreate it for you guys. The final shadow we're going to be using in today's look is Embark from MAC, and I'm just using the MAC 217 and really concentrating this color onto the outer corners of my eyes. To line my upper lash line, I'm using Makeup Geek's Immortal Gel Liner. I've been loving this one, and I'm just using the Sigma E10, which is a super fine brush. I've been hearing so much about the Inglot number 77 gel liner that I'm pretty much dying to try it now. So if you guys have any other Inglot recommendations, be sure to leave those down below because I'm thinking I'm going to be placing an order soon. Now for my foundation, I've been using this mixture of 3. The True Match Lumi, which is one of my favorite kind of hydrating dewy foundations, and then I almost stuttered there. Well, I guess I did. And then the Benefit Big Easy, which is more of a really lightweight foundation that kind of morphs into a powder. I've been loving the finish of it. So just to keep a really dewy, luminous finish, I like to add some of the Gerard Cosmetics BB Plus Illuminator. This stuff is amazing. It's kind of like a golden champagne sheen. And once again, it's another product that gives you that glow from within look that I'm pretty much obsessed with. Oh, and if you guys are curious of where these pink brushes are from, they're from the line Velvet. I ordered them from imomoco.com, and I will have a 10% off code for those as well down below if you are interested. Now for my concealing and highlighting, I'm going in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Since I'm more of a yellow undertone, I go in with a pink instead just to really add brightness under there. So right now I'm just using the MAC Pro Longwear in NW20. First I kind of like to place it and blend it in with a brush, and then just go in with the Beauty Blender just to kind of soften out any harsh edges. Now to set my under eyes, I'm just using the NYX blotting powder. This is in light medium, but these powders run super duper light. So if you guys were curious of that and wanting to pick them up, I do like them because they're so finely milled, but I just noticed that the colors run really light. Now to set the rest of my face, I'm just using the NARS Reflecting Powder on my e.l.f. powder brush, and I'm just going to kind of blot this all over my face. I like this just because it keeps my face from looking too matte, and the powder is really soft and finely milled, so I don't notice it kind of like catching onto any of my dry patches. Moving on to my contour, I'm using the Studio Care Blend Pressed Powder in Dark. This was a recommendation I saw on one of Jaclyn Hill's videos, and I have been loving it. It's just a really nice warm matte powder, but it works great as a bronzer because like she mentioned, it really does just make it look like skin. It doesn't end up looking too heavy or cakey like some other bronzers can. Moving on to one of my new favorite little blush cocktails that I've come up with. This is Julep's Peach Bellini, which is a pore minimizing blush. I like to add this first. This blush does have a hint of shimmer on it, and then on top of it, I like to mix in a bit of MAC's Warm Soul, which is one of my favorite go-to blushes. I feel like you could really wear it with any look. Now, if you guys know me, you know I'm all about highlight or just really bronzy, glowy cheeks. So on top of this, I'm using this Kevyn Aucoin bronzer. This is more of like an ombre bronzer, so I like to kind of go in just on the lighter side and apply this up to the tops of my cheekbones and then swirl all the colors together, and it gives you the most beautiful glow ever. Now, sticking with that same bronzer and the lightest shade, I'm going to go in with a brush and pop some of this onto my inner corners. To finish off the look, I'm going to show you two different lip variations. The first one is what I wore in that previous haul video that I'd mentioned earlier. So I use Fiji and Raspberry Sherbet from Whitening Lightning. These are the Color Your Smile lip glosses. People rave about these for a reason. The pigmentation, the color, everything is amazing. So there's the pink, but for tonight I decided to go with a nude lip instead. So I'm just using the gloss in the shade Nude. Now for my hair, I'm pulling that wild mane down, and I'm going in and spritz some shampoo. This is just Dove's dry shampoo, hands down one of my favorites from the drugstore. So I like to leave that in for a couple minutes and then just massage it into my scalp. Then I'm just going to part my hair into two halves, and I'm going to use my Remington, oh I forget the exact name of this. It's the Remington Tourmaline something wand. It goes from 1.5 inch to 1 inch. It's a tapered conical wand. So I'm just going to wrap large sections around this. I'm not really looking for tiny curls, more just volume and waves. So just going in and wrapping these curls, and I'm going to kind of catch it, hold it for a minute to allow it to cool, and then drop it. This process probably takes me about 10 minutes just because my hair is thick, even though I'm going in with larger sections. So yeah, I'm just going to continue wrapping my hair and letting it fall. Once I have my hair all curled, I'll just go in with my wet brush and gently brush the curls out just to create a really nice bounce and wave in my hair. Sometimes I go in and tease it, sometimes I don't. I really never wear a side part, so it was kind of new to me, so I just left it as is. Alright, so that pretty much completes this look. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope your day is going well so far. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a subscription unboxing.